Hi everyone! Welcome to our math lesson for today. We are going to go ahead and get started with calendar first. Then we will do our word problem of the day from yesterday. Then we will learn our new lesson. And then I will have a new problem of the day for you. Are you ready? Okay, let's get started. So I am going to shorten our calendar just a teensy bit by pulling off these two. And we're going to focus just again on what today is. So, yesterday was Wednesday the 15th. What would today be? Is it going to be the 14th or the 16th? The 16th, very good. Now, yesterday was Wednesday, so what day of the week is today? Think of your song if you can't remember. Sunday. Thursday. Today's Thursday. So let's go ahead and say that with me. Are you ready? Today is Thursday, April 5th or 16th. Great job. Okay, we're going to move on over to here and add in our next sticker. Here we go. Uh-oh, it won't come off the paper. Hold on. There we go. Okay, adding it right into the next spot. And let's go ahead and today I want to see if you can do this. Now, one of our skills that we have to learn in kindergarten is how to count on from a given number. Normally, we stay within 100, but today I want to see if we can count on from the last number we had, like the last tens. So the last tens that we filled up was 140. So let's see if we can just count on from 140. Are you ready? 140, 141, 142, 143. Great job. I know that's a little bit more difficult, but we're going to practice that because you guys are getting so good at counting at tens that now we need to we're going to try to just tweak it just a little and see if we can count on every once in a while. We're not going to do it every day, but every once in a while. Okay, let's move on over to here. So we said we had 143 days. Now our chart still shows 142. So let's talk through what each of these numbers means again. This one right here, does it stand for just one? Or does it stand for 100? It stands for 100. We have one group of 100. We have four groups of 10, so 10, 20, 30, 40, fantastic. And we have how many ones? We have two, and I'm going to add a new one, so now we have 3. So we're going to change this one to 143. Great job. We're going to add to our base 10 blocks. So remember, this one is worth how much? 100. One green one is worth how much? 10. And let's count how much tens we have. 10, 20, 30, 40. And these are worth how much? 1. So 141, 142, 143. Great job. Okay, that is our calendar for today. So let's go ahead and take a look at our problem from yesterday. Yesterday, we had a problem with Isaiah. Isaiah read 5 books. Then he read 7 more. How many books did Isaiah read? Did Mrs. Arnold trick you on this problem? Because there's not a missing addend in here. For this one, this is just a plain old normal addition problem. Nothing fancy about it. I wanted to see how close you were paying attention. So he read 5 books. So I'm going to draw 5 circles real fast. And then he read how many more? 7 more. How many books did he read altogether? How many did he read altogether? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He read 12 books altogether. So let's go ahead and write that number sentence. We started with a group of 5. We added a group of 7 to get 12. Great job. Did you get 12? If you didn't, that's okay. That was a trick problem. I wanted to see how close you were paying attention. So be very careful. So here we go. Our lesson for today. Today our lesson is going to be a little bit different. Let me move this over and get it to stand up on its own, and I'm going to have to move you as we work on it. So our lesson today is still with missing addends, but instead of working on word problems, I'm going to teach you another way to solve some missing addends, because some of you have already been doing this, but I wanted to point it out anyways. Plus, I wanted to teach us how to use our fingers to solve the problem as well, because Mrs. Arnold always tells you that you always have your fingers with you no matter where you go, right? So you can always do addition or subtraction on your fingers. It's the best thing in the world because they're always with you. You're always going to have 10 of them. They're always going to be with you, so you can always use them. It's never a bad thing to use your fingers. So let's go ahead and start with the first one. Now, the best way to solve this is by using subtraction, even though it has addition in there, because we're trying to find this part, and we don't know what part this is. And what you've been doing with your cubes is you kind of have been subtracting. Think about it. You always count out 9 cubes, right? Or whatever the total is. So in this case, you would count out 9 cubes, and then you're making a group of 4. So you're taking 4 away from that 9, and you're being left with the rest of them, which ends up being your missing addend, correct? You are subtracting even though you don't realize it. So we're going to work on this by turning it into a subtraction problem to find our missing addend. So all we're going to do is we're going to take the 9, and we're going to do 9 minus 4, because that's what you're already doing with those cubes. You start with 9 cubes, you're pulling 4 of them out and setting them to the side. You subtracted those from that group. You've already done the work. I'm writing it in a number sentence. That's all I'm doing. I am not teaching you anything new because you're already doing it. You start with 9, you're pulling out 4 of them and setting them to the side. So you're subtracting 4 of them to find how many are left in that other group. So do it with me real fast. We're going to use our fingers instead of cubes today. So our whole this time, we're starting with 9. We're taking away 4 and putting them down because they went into their own group. How many are you left with? 5. You're left with 5. So your answer is 5. So your missing addend is 5 because 4 plus 5 more makes 9. You're already doing the subtraction without realizing it. I'm just showing you that you're already doing it. Okay, so it's nothing new. Don't freak out. You're already doing it, you just don't realize it. So let's go ahead over here. We're going to start with our whole again. What is our whole here? 7 is our whole. Remember, our whole always comes after the equal sign. That's our biggest number. Our whole is always our biggest number when it's after the equal sign, because we're starting with 7. So we are starting with 7, And how many are we going to take away? What's the other number in the problem? 3. So we're going to do 7 minus 3. Are you ready? Just like if you were to do your cubes, you would put 7 of them up together. You're going to count out 3 and pull them to the side. You counted those out. You pulled them out. You subtracted them. So let's do it with our fingers. Ready? We start with our whole. So we have 7. Put up 7 fingers. Okay. We are going to take away 3 of them. Take away 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. How many do you have left? Do you have the same number I have left? Our answer is 4. So if you had 7 cubes, you are just 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All you're doing is you're taking away those 3. They're going in their own group. They are going away. And you're left with 4. I know some of us are probably going to be a little confused on this, but that's okay. We're going to do our best, and if it doesn't click, it's okay, as long as you can figure out how to solve a missing atom. I'm just showing you that you're already doing it. Okay. We're going to fold this up here so you can see our last 2 problems for today. There we go. Now, I threw this one in here because I've had a few friends struggling with that concept of 0. 0 is a hard number because it's just hard because you can't see it. So remember, 0 means you don't have anything, okay? You have nothing. You have to think way back when we first learned numbers, a long time ago, way back in August. We learned that if you have 1, you just have 1. If you have 2, you have 2. If you have 0, you don't have anything. There's nothing to be had. So I did throw a 0 on here because I know the zeros are hard. So let's go ahead and begin. What number is our whole here? What is our whole? What do we have in all? 5. We have 5 in all. That's where we start. Okay? So if you counted out 5 blocks or you put up 5 fingers, because we're working on using our fingers today, we have to make a group of 0. How do you make a group of 0? Do you put anything in a group of 0? No, you don't. There's nothing to be put in a group of 0. So you could pretend you're putting a group of 0 over here, but you're not taking anything away. So what do you have left? You have 5 left. So real fast, we started with 5. We took away 0 to get 5. Now think about that. Read the problem and see if that makes sense. Does 0 plus 5 equal 5? Think about the addition. If I said, what does 0 plus 5 equal? You're going to tell me it equals 5, right? You guys are overthinking the 0 is what's happening because 0 is a confusing number, especially for you guys. For little kindergartners, it's confusing. It is, but as long as you're doing your best, that's okay. So let's go ahead and move on to our last problem today, and then you are free to work on your problem of the day, which I will have for you here in a moment. I wonder who's going to be our next problem of the day, kid. I wonder. Okay, I want you to try to do this one on your own. I want you to try, then I'll give you a hint, and I want you to try again to see if you get the same number. So I'm going to give you a minute to think about where do you start. Think about where do you start. Okay, so I'm going to give you a hint. Where should you start? What is your whole? If that's where you're stuck, then I'll give you a hint so that hopefully you can continue after I give you your little hint. your whole is 8. That's how many you have all together. Now see if you can solve the problem. Okay, your time should be about up. Ready? So you started with 8. Your whole is 8. That's where we're starting. Then we make a group of 1. We're taking away 1. So you have 8 minus 1, which I know you all know how to solve. You're starting with 8. You made a group of 1 by himself, so he's going away. How many do you have left? You have 7 left. 7 is your correct answer. Great job. Okay, moving on to our next problem of the day. I know this was a little tough trying to make that connection, parents, so it's okay if they don't get it as long as they know how to solve it. This is kind of just the next step for those kids who are ready for it, and it's hard for me to see who's ready for it and who's not. But if they did fantastic, that's great. If they didn't get it, it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. So let's go ahead and move on to our problem of the day for today. So our problem of the day today is Annabelle. Annabelle saw 9 birds. 4 flew away. How many birds are left? Annabelle saw 9 birds. 4 flew away. How many birds are left? Please draw me a picture and write a number sentence to match. And I will see you all later. Bye.